Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? This is Dave Wood. I'm talking to you in my hostel here in lockdown in Colombia, and I don't know the date. It's probably like the 22nd, 23rd of May or something like that. I wanted to do a video talking to you about my vision for the future, my vision for the world. I think this is really important because over the last couple of years, I've tried to convey this message to people, and I've really not been able to convey this message to people in a way that they've understood. I've tried to do it, and I think a couple of people have gotten it, but I don't think a lot of people have because I think my message was muddied up a little bit. I also think I wasn't explaining it clear. And the truth is, I learned a long time ago when I was studying neurolinguistics programming that the meaning of your communication isn't what you're saying. The meaning of your communication is the result that you're getting. So if I haven't been getting a result in unifying people, then it's actually not what I'm trying to do. It's the way that I'm communicating the message, okay? So all this comes from a few years ago, I had a major spiritual awakening. And this was on May 20th, right, 2017. So May 20th, 2017, I'm sitting in Puerto Rico. I just built this giant company, and it was kind of falling apart. I was having a lot of emotional difficulties. A lot of the people that I had helped over the years, they were like leaving me, and I had such a hard time with that because I'm such an emotional, heart-centered person. And so I took everything personally. It was like one person, then another person, then another person. And I was just like trying to stay alive. I was so frustrated with it, and I was trying to keep this company going. And I had some good, loyal people in the team, and we all kind of just felt stressed trying to keep it going and keep it together. You know, this is our company went here, and then it was like kind of like going like this, and I was like just stressed out. Well, the stress and things falling apart, it led to something that happened on May 20th, 2017, which was this major spiritual awakening that I had, okay? And I've never really, I don't know that I've ever really conveyed this spiritual awakening and really what it did for me in a really clear way that people are like, oh wow, like I do want that. I think that I've conveyed it in a way where I came across in the beginning like a zealot, you know what I mean? And I was like, I'm a zealot, you know? I just experienced this amazing thing, rah, dumping it on everyone. But I didn't really explain what actually happened and what it actually did for me. The best way I could explain it is that my life was like, and I felt like a bunch of stuff was happening to me. I felt like people around me were hurting me, this, that. And the truth is, there's some people that were hurting me. And the truth is, there's some people I was hurting them. But there was like these sides of it that I wasn't able to see. It was like I could only see through part of my brain. It was like I used to look at this camera that's sitting here in front of me when I'm looking you intently in the eyes. I'm actually not looking in the camera. I'm looking into your eyes. But I used to look at it, and I'd see something that was outside myself. And now I kind of see that what's on the outside is also on the inside, and what's on the inside is also on the outside. But there's actually nothing that's outside myself. And that's a hard thing for people to get and a hard thing for people to understand. They talk about it in like self-development literature and law of attraction, but there's a difference between reading about something and being able to see the universe that way, right? And so really simply, I went through a spiritual awakening that, you know, they would have called, I'm not going to get into what they would have called it. It was just a major spiritual awakening. My energy centers opened up. It gave me the ability to remember past lives in a lot of detail. There was all sorts of other things that developed from that. And a whole bunch of things about my nature and the way that I interact with people in the world around me actually changed like that in a really, really massive way. Like in a way that if you actually experienced it, you would be like overjoyed from the changes that would happen in your life from it, right? And then, after that, I proceeded to lose the rest of everything that I had, right? So I continued to go through loss. And I used to feel bad about that, but then I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and he actually went through the exact same thing that I went through, but maybe like, I don't know, 20, 25 years ago or something like that. And he's very successful today, you know, we were talking about it, you know. But the reality is that I lost everything, then I awakened, and then I lost the rest, right? And I was like, right? But I had this vision when I awakened, and the vision was really simple. It was, number one, I awakened, and I said we got only a few years left, right? I said that when I awakened, I said in 3 years the world's going to be falling chaos. We're going to have famine, we're going to have plagues, and we're going to have the world's going to be headed in for war, right? And the only thing actually that so far hasn't happened is the war. I said a bunch of other stuff as well that'll happen off in the future and stuff like that, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. Basically, I knew at that point we don't really have a lot of time to change and to get things right. And the truth is, we don't. We didn't then, we especially don't now. And I went out trying to change everything, but I was like, what was I really trying to do? Like change everything by putting up YouTube videos or whatever? I really couldn't figure out for the life of me how to do what was in my head. I had like all this information, what I want to do, and I'm like getting to the next step. It's like leaping over a building. It was like, how do I go? Okay, I want to go there, and I'm like right here. How do I go to here, right? That was actually the hardest part, right? Is just jumping this little tiny first steps. And then I know once I get momentum, I know how to make things take off, right? So what was the vision that I had for the world? I want to explain it to you, because if I explain it to you, I can't explain this to you without, if you understand it, you're going to get excited about it. If you don't understand it, you're not going to necessarily be excited about it. And that means I need to re-explain it, because if I can explain this to you in the proper way, in a way that you actually get what I'm trying to do, you're going to get excited about helping me do it. Because there's really nothing like it. And if you don't understand it and I don't properly explain it, you might not be excited about it yet. Okay? But you will be excited about it when I explain it properly. It's just hard to bottle up kind of what's in my head, because, I awakened and had all this weird knowledge come to me and everything like that. It's really amazing. And everybody could awaken is the point, right? So what I had a vision of doing, and what I have a vision of doing today, and I will do it, and we will do it. Okay, I'm just saying it's gonna happen, right? Is number one, to create world peace. I'm gonna say create world peace, right? That's number one. Okay, that's the most important thing, because I think the world's headed for war. Okay, and so create world peace. Now I actually believe that real peace is not going to come without a period of conflict emerging from the karma that's going on in society. Okay? I explained this a little bit better in my last video attempt. Maybe I should have kept that video. This part I explained a little bit better. Right? But really, that peace is not going to come, I believe, without some stuff coming out of society first. I believe that people need to awaken in order to create peace. And in order for people to awaken, they have to go through some karma. Right? It's just from my own experience, from knowing people, from knowing other people. When they go through an awakening, the karma all comes out, right? If there's dirty laundry, it all comes out. If there's something somebody's trying to hide, it all comes out. It just, the nature of somebody and the nature of the way the universe is reacting with them, it starts to change, right? So there's some positive things, and then there's some things that we need to kind of work through a little bit of faster transition for. But create world peace, right? Now the way to do that, I believe, right, is you got to go, in order to create peace, you got to go where all the people are. You say, where are all the people, right? All the people are in all the various spiritualities of the world, right? Now, I've always, I refer to religion and spirituality interchangeably, but religion doesn't really sound cool today. It's like, religion? And then people are like, spirituality? You know what I mean? It's so funny, actually. Like, you could literally use the two words. It's like, when I used to be in network marketing, I used to go tell people, are you interested in a business opportunity? And they'd all be like, nope, I'm not interested. But then if I'd say, are you open to taking a look at something that, a real opportunity to make some money? They'd be like, of course I'm open, right? So they were always open, but they were never interested. So if you just change the word, they get... So anyway, not religion, spirituality, right? Like, that sounds so exciting, right? No, but the spiritualities of the world, what I mean? Well, if you take the 5 biggest spiritualities of the world, right? The 5 biggest spiritual systems in the world, you have 78% of the world's population in there, right? So you have all the people are there, right? And if you get those groups of people working together, which I've been trying to figure out how to do for a while, right? You can create peace just because they're all working together, right? Because it's where all the people are. If you take all the spiritualities, it's like almost all the world's population in them, right? So what are the 5 biggest spiritualities? I'm taking out the atheist, agnostics, that kind of group, right? Because they do consider that if you look at the charts, right? You got Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and the Chinese traditional religion is what it's called in English. I don't know what that's called in China, but in English that's what we call it. You take these 5 things by themselves, for example, you've got a majority of the world's population are in those 5 religions. So 5 religions, spiritualities, RS, like an RSS, right? You got 78% of the world's population, okay? In 5 groups of people. And so, Christianity's got 2.3 billion or 2.5 or something. I don't remember the exact stats. And then Islam's got 1.1 billion. And Hinduism's relatively the same size. Then Buddhism, it's got a little bit under 1 billion, I think. And between these 5 groups of people, you have all of the people. Now, I've had a challenge over the last couple of years because I've been like, how in the world do we get these groups of people that are constantly fighting and bickering, working together, like not necessarily believing the same things, not agreeing, but how do we get these groups of people, like even if you got, like, for example, Islam and Judaism working together, how much world conflict would just disappear? It was just like, bam, like just like this huge percentage of world conflict just vanishes into thin air if you just get 2 groups of people working together, right? So I've always believed the key to creating peace is going where the people are and getting them to work together. And all the people, they're in the religions. Does that make sense? Right? So I've been trying to figure that out for a long time. Right? World peace has to do with creating a couple of things. Right now, our system sucks. Right? So the system we have, it just is, it sucks. People are like, well, the system, it provides all this opportunity. You know, here's what I mean. Donald Trump, he always talks about how we were in the greatest economy the world ever had. And really, we were in a fantastic economy. He just did such a fantastic job. And all the people around him, and also all the people working in Congress and the Senate, you know, we could go to them, and also all the people that just got excited about what's going on, just started working and making a lot of money. Really, we're in this fantastic economy, right? And then it just goes like, it's like somebody just like, you ever seen that V for Vendetta movie? I'm not flicking at you, by the way. It's like, I'll look at it this way. And it's like he stacks up those dominoes in the shape of V, and he goes, and it's like just they all fall down, and then things start exploding, right? That's what happened. It was like, right, and then the economy just falls off a cliff and it dies. Why? Because the actual system we've got is the problem. The system we've got, I can't explain this in this video. I'll do it in another video. I've done it before. It just can't do anything but create booms and bust cycles, and then eventually totally collapse with deflation and hyperinflation. That is the end of our system. Okay? It's not possible to do anything else. You say, why? Well, if you just take just this pandemic that's going on right now, how many trillions of dollars in debt did we increase the United States debt by? Right? People kind of, they just, you know, they blow this over like it's nothing. But then, right, there will come a time when the debt is so big, our national production will go down, and we won't be able to meet these obligations, and the whole system could collapse just from, like, debt implosion. So the system itself, because it's driven by debt, could be propped up by people working, or it could be propped up by printing money. So the 2 things that drive the economy up are those 2 things. In an economy that was debt-free, that was based in hard currencies, the only thing that could increase the economy would be people producing more. Okay? So by people producing more, the only way it could increase is by people actually upping the level of production that they did. Right now we can increase it by printing a bunch of money, or we can increase it by productivity, right? And usually it's a combination of those 2 things. If you take the money printing out and you take this whole fiat currency out, the economy would just kind of gradually increase over time like this and would never stop, right? So our system is just like built in debt, right? And the nature of it is designed to destroy the environment as we produce more, as we race ahead, as we work more and more to have less and less. It sucks, right? Evidenced by the fact that it was so great, we're all booming, like everybody's investing, it's like we're all throwing a football and it's going through the goalpost, you know, the guy is running down the field, he's catching the football each time and he's like jumping, you know what I mean, and he lands another touchdown, and then all of a sudden, it's like the whole playing field explodes, and we're like, everybody put on the face mask. Oh wait, here we go. Everybody put on the face mask. Everybody, the system's exploding. Protect me, government. You know, and now everybody's like, government, we want you to give us more free Cheetos, more race cars, and a raise. You know, we all got pitchforks asking for it. You know, like it's their job. You know, but the system, the whole thing sucks. So in any case, I want to rebuild this system. Right? This is the third thing. So new system. Right? You say, what do you mean a new system? Dave, is that something where it's like you get this new world ruling system and you get a rule at the top of it or something like that? Maybe, you know. But no, not really. What I want to do, well, a little different is, let's see how much time I got. I got 5 minutes, man. It's like a light year. What I actually want to do is I want to create a new system that solves the problems in this system that works together with our existing system, right? But that results in the opposite outcomes as far as like long-term what this system is going to do, which is what? This system is just going to implode, collapse into a pile of rubble. I want to build a system that will last forever, right? And it can't do anything over time but just improve the quality and the efficiency of itself. It would be impossible under my system to do anything but, over a period of time in society, improve the efficiency and the profitability of society. Nothing else could happen from it, right? And so I want to build a new system. So the new system would result in a decreased debt and increased profitability of the nation, but it would also do things in a way that was more taking everything in society and reoriented around balance, right? So it would like solve all the problems in society at once through the combination of technology working with humanity to actually pay attention to what we're doing, right? And the only way the system would ever mess up or ever not work is if somebody came later and they changed it in some stupid way, right? And then we could run into problems again maybe 100 or 200 years or something. But anyway, so world peace, bring all the spiritual values together, and then this new system. So this kind of like a lot to do. I'm like, right? Well, really, I believe the key to bringing everybody together and really the key to making everything work is spiritualities. And I have this goal and call it an audacious goal. And really what my goal is and what I want to do is I want together with all of you to share the gospel with the whole world every year on a single day, right? And you say, okay, all right, I've talked about this a couple of times. I don't know if I've really talked about it a lot, but when I say that, when I'm talking about sharing the good news, I mean maybe some more dimensions to it than what normally maybe a Christian person would just mean. Because I think the Christian person, what they would do is they would say, I want to plow Jesus over everyone. Not really, but you know what I mean. It's like we go and, we're going to talk about Christianity every year. And that's powerful, but the problem is that we're not going to gather everybody in a room if we only have one group of people talking, right? It's just not going to happen. So if you just get like the super evangelists and you get all the Christians and they're all like passing out flyers and everything like this, and then you bring everybody together, you're not going to bring everybody together because there's just a big chunk of society that would just never show up to something like that. No matter what we did, they wouldn't show up. But if we could pull everybody together in this unified umbrella to where we're bringing all the faiths together, for example, not to unify them into one faith. I actually don't want. I have no desire to do that. But like, for example, you get Christians sharing, and you get the Islamic people sharing, you get the Buddhists sharing, you get the Hindus sharing, you get the Chinese, traditional religion, whatever that is, you get them sharing. And you bring all the people together in this environment where it's like, how can we solve problems, right, with these ancient teachings, right? I don't really quite have the message of how I'm going to do that yet. Let me check the time, all right. I got like 2 minutes left. Yeah, light years, right? So, but that's essentially what I want to do. I want to bring them all together. You say, why? Because all the people can hear a message together, right? That's one thing. The second thing is create a new system, right? And this new system would emerge what's called a kingdom system. Now, a kingdom system would operate kind of over the top of society. In this video, I don't really have tons of time to talk about it, so maybe I'll talk about actually the kingdom system in another video. But essentially the kingdom system would be integrated with this new system that was overlapped on top of society and essentially change the way that we managed. It would change the way that society managed money, and it would change the way that everything kind of worked together as an interconnected puzzle. And what it would do is, rather than centralize, so people would be scared of me saying this because they'd say, well, this would centralize power into like one person. It actually wouldn't. That's actually not what it would do. What it would do is it would further decentralize the power and the controls over society, making it basically impossible for real dictators to emerge, right? Because right now, we actually have a real serious danger of real dictators emerging in society. And that's going to come from financial collapse, leading to war, leading to chaos, leading to tribalism, leading to people arising from things like the Reds and, you got the Bloods and, and the Crips and things like this, and like little gang wars and stuff like this. There's all sorts of stuff that can arise in a collapse when a society's going through collapse, okay? And so essentially, that's actually what I want to do. I want to create world peace. I want to bring all the people together to where they stop fighting, not because they have to stop, but because they're just over it. And the way that we do this is through enlightenment, right? Enlightenment. So enlightenment is going to be the subject, I think, of my next video. because this video's got 5 seconds left. So pay attention. I'll put that